Ẹ kú dédé ìwòyí o. Welcome to Summy's Kitchen with your host, Summy Fowora.
Hi everyone, Èmi ni ìyá ìbejì, Simbo. Mama ìbejì means mother of twins. What I'm cooking today, beans, is special because the regular beans you cook it together with the sauce, but with this it's called ewa riro or Agoyin. And in Nigeria, it's known that when you eat lots of beans, you'll have twins. I'm a living example of that. To cook beans, these are the following ingredients: tomato sauce, dry chili pepper, crayfish, which is tiny dry shrimp, which you can get from any store anywhere. The spice, I add ginger, thyme, curry, onion, and garlic to cook it with. This is fresh garlic, which I use in cooking the beans. It softens the beans early. And salt to taste. To cook the beans, all I need is just a little bit, not too much, because when it cooks, it soaks up the water and it expands. This is the quantity I'll be cooking for 4. If you want the process of cooking beans to be faster, soak it for 1 to 2 hours. And after cooking the beans, you won't be all that gassy. Because Nigerians are known for when you eat beans, that's another story. So what I'm going to do now is just to drain off the water. Some got away. That's okay. You can use a sieve or anything you prefer, but I use my hand just to cover it. So with all the water away, I'm going to pour the beans in here. To cook the beans, you make sure that the level of water is above, almost up to the brim of whatever size of pot you're using. Because beans cooks fast, and with this water, beans are very dry. Enough water softens it, and you don't have to be thinking about it getting burnt. See, I'm still adding more water. Time to cook. The next thing I'll be adding is garlic, because garlic helps soften it, which makes it cook faster. You don't need to cut up your garlic or chop it up, just add it whole and it works on its own. I'll use as many as possible. I'd rather use 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One very important thing, when you cook beans, you don't cover it. You leave it, because if you cover it, it overflows, runs over your stove or gas or electricity. We don't want that. So just leave it to cook. As soon as you notice it, the water going down, you can just feel the beans with your hands, not with spoon, because with your hands you'll be able to feel how soft or how hard it is. But if you have to use spoon, you don't use spoon, you don't use fork. Just use the tip of your finger, and then that shows how far, whether you need to add more water or not. I'll leave the beans to cook between 1.5 to 2 hours. Now to make the tomato sauce, in this I'll add the shrimp, but first you can see I don't need any onions or anything. All I need is the tomato sauce and the dry chili pepper. So now I'm going to pour this into the pot. You have to be very careful with the dry chili pepper, because you don't need to put too much. Once you add too much, it's too spicy, the damage is done. As I said, you just need a little at a time. Because you don't want it too spicy, that's why I'm using this tiny spoon. It's better to add it now, then if it's not spicy enough, you could always add more later. Then the spices is the thyme, garlic, ginger. Because I want it spicy and tasty, I'll add that consistency. That's okay. The next thing is the salt. 1, 2. That's done. Next is the oil. With this you add much oil. You watch. Because when you cook the beans is done, you want the sauce to drizzle all over the beans. See? And another thing with this sauce, I'm not adding any water. Because for ewa riro or ewa agoyin, you want your sauce as thick as possible. I'll mix everything together, leave it to cook for 10 to 15 minutes, and the last thing I'll be adding is the crayfish, the tiny dry shrimp. Another reason for adding this last is because the sauce, if I'd added it earlier on, the shrimp would have disappeared with the sauce, and the purpose of adding this would have been defeated. In another minute, it will be done. Let me check it. Wow, the stew is done. I'll turn it off and wait for the beans. Time up to check on the beans. Ooh, that's wonderful. Oh, the beans. Wow. Oh, the beans is nice and soft. Before I turn it off the stove, I'll add a little bit of oil because that's what makes the beans different. I mean, not too much oil, but enough to thicken and condense the beans together. I'll leave this covered just for a minute or two because I just added the oil. Time up, the beans is done. The oil is all mixed into it, so I'll turn off the stove and leave this also to cool before I serve it.
Hope you enjoy the show. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, ó dìgbà o.
Ó dàbọ̀, stay healthy and bye for now.